Today, I'm going to show you how to use those leftovers from that beans and rice recipe to make quick quesadillas with your leftovers. So, here's what you're going to need to do this recipe. Whole wheat tortillas, some leftover beans and rice, some shredded cheese, green things, and plain Greek yogurt. Now, many of those ingredients, you can use regular tortillas, you can use corn tortillas, you can use any kinds of beans and rice. You can really kind of use any kind of cheese, however, cheddar cheese is the best. Green things, you don't have to have green things, but of course, we're trying to get more vegetables in ya. So green things, plain Greek yogurt, well, you know how I feel about that. That's better than sour cream, kind of tastes almost the same, and it's got lots of protein. So there we go. That's the plan. Well, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about how we're going to oil our pan here. Now, you already know that one of my favorite oils is avocado oil. This is an excellent use for avocado oil. I am not fond of the spray kind of oils because they have these accelerants in them. Oops, I need more than that. And that can gum up your pans after time. There's only one time that I use those spray ones, and that is if I have something glass and I'm baking something. But so I'm just putting a little bit on a paper towel, as you can see, just a tiny little bit, and I'm going to spread it on here, and then I'm going to set that aside. All right. Now, our leftover beans and rice. Whenever we have leftovers of something like the beans and rice, remember that recipe that I showed you yesterday? I always label it with the date. That's important. And I'm going to pull out those leftover beans and rice because I want my filling ingredients to at least be warm. So I'm going to put these in the microwave for about a minute. And because we know when things cook in the microwave, those electromagnetic energy waves, they cook from the outside in. So whenever you cook in the microwave, always leave a little well in the center if you can. I'm going to put these in for like a minute. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk about is our knife skills. Whoops, I forgot to pull out the cutting board. And remember, when we have a cutting board, we don't want it to slip around like this, right? So we're going to put something underneath it. This is a towel that is just a little bit damp. I'm going to put that underneath my cutting board. And I'm going to take some of my green things. Now, preferably, I would have loved to have had kale because kale is the most nutritious food almost over anything. Really, the ANDI index, aggregate nutrient density index, is extremely high with kale. Not so much with spinach, but spinach will do. That's what I got. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little rough chop. And remember, I'm going to keep my hands away from that blade. This is a chef's knife, of course, you know that. And if it was something that I actually had to get my hand close to the blade, remember, I would be using the claw where my fingertips are pulled back. But I don't need to worry about that really that much. And that's probably more than enough spinach. I'm just going to give it another rough chop. And remember, keep your hand on the knife. Do not do that. You can choke up on the knife like that, or you can keep your hand back like that. Okay, and you see this hand? Fingers up. Of course, I've washed my hands really, really well. Okay, and then I'm going to set that knife aside. I'm going to wash that in a little bit. And now I want to talk about the tortillas, the different kinds of tortillas. All right. If all you have are white flour tortillas, those would be okay. If all you have are corn tortillas, I don't know, I think they're okay. I'm going to try one today. But what do you suppose is my preference with tortillas? And you should have said 100% whole wheat. Why 100% whole wheat? Well, because 100% whole wheat, you're going to have much better fiber. If you look at the nutrition facts label, 14% fiber in one tortilla. And it's just so much healthier for you. Remember what I used to say about white bread? The whiter the bread, the sooner you're dead. So I'm going to have my whole wheat tortillas here. I do have one corn tortilla I'm going to try it with. And I've got some cheese here. I distinctly prefer using something like cheddar cheese. If you have low-fat cheddar cheese left over from that first recipe, yay for you. This is all you have. This is all I have. Good. If you have a block of cheddar cheese, all you need is a box grater. Okay? If all you have is Parmesan cheese, well, that'd do too. It wouldn't be my preference, but that will do. Okay, so now that I have my cheese, and I just heard my microwave go off, and so here is my mixture. I just want to kind of be sure that it's warm. I can feel it, that it is warm enough. Okay. I have already preheated my oven. I think I'm going to put this in for just 30 more seconds. I've preheated my oven to 400 degrees. All right, 400 degrees. So just know that you're going to have a pot holder handy if you're going to do this recipe. And I think what I'm going to do is 3 of these. And if you have old kind of stale tortillas, this is perfect because they're going to be baked anyways. This is much healthier than the typical presentation or preparation of quesadillas because we're not deep frying them and we're not pan frying them. This is all the oil that's going to be on them. And remember, what nutrient is an oil? It's a fat. Even though avocado oil is one of the better oils that you could consume, we don't want a lot of oil on this because what we really want to do is add that cheese, right? So here we go. Cheese, by the way, is going to act like glue for these in a sense. It's going to help hold it together a little bit. So we're going to take just a tiny, small amount of cheese and put it on 1/2 of our tortillas. And then we're going to take a spoonful, a nice spoonful, and my hands are clean, so it's okay that I'm using my fingers here. I wash my hands really well. We're going to put about a spoonful of our tortilla here. You do not want it very thick, really. I hope you saved some leftover of our 1 pot beans and rice yesterday so you can try this. This is a great lunch, or you could have it with a salad and it would be like a meal. Now, we're going to put a little cheese on top also here because you got the cheese on the bottom. It's going to be like glue. Little cheese on top. It's also going to be like glue. I'm going to fold these babies in half. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of cheese yet on top. And because we oiled this pan, any cheese that's here is going to still be delicious. However, I want you to notice I'm cleaning this pan up a little bit because it might burn a little bit on the pan. We don't really want that because we don't like to spend our time cleaning up. If you really want to do the easiest cleanup possible, you might line this with oil. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. How could you let me forget? Let's get a little bit of greens in there. So, of course, that means I got to fix that now. Dang it. Okay. I'll do that with the other 2. And then I'm going to take these and stick them in the oven.